So there I was, looking for new content and thinking I would do a video discussing how powerful Samus Aran was. So I went on YouTube, naturally, to see who had already done such a video. Lo and behold, I found a video from one ProjectZ, a YouTuber, whose video had some 400 and something views. And it was the only video I could find on the subject, but he offered the most nerfed power scaling for Metroid I have ever seen anywhere. It gets even worse. I find dozens of wannabe death battle videos comparing Samus to Master Chief, Doom Guy, and the Astartes from Warhammer 40k. Characters who are powerful in their own right, but Samus would grind into what stains on the ground. So today, let's discuss how powerful Samus Aran is once and for all, and who knows, maybe in the future I'll do Lara Croft Composite next. Now the first thing I want to discuss in the video is Samus Aran's speed. Now in literally every single video, or discussion I've seen of Samus with some other character, I've seen massive speed downplay in some way, shape, or form. Now to get this out of the way, Samus and all top tiers in Metroid are massively faster than light. Now that's a big claim, but I will prove it soon enough. Now let's start with the worst showings, and then we'll get onto the big domino as we go along. So, the first example we see, even chronologically, is in Metroid Zero Mission, Ridley is able to fly over a significant part of planet Zebes in a few seconds. We know it is significant because the ship was outside the massive blast zone of the Torian base when we see Samus escape initially. Now, that's nice, but next one's even better. Example number 2, we see Proteus Ridley at the end of Metroid Samus Returns after Samus had just defeated him. Now, he was near death on planet SR-388, but he somehow managed to literally fly through space and beat Samus to Sarah's space colony in about an hour, the distance between Metroid Samus Returns and Super Metroid. If that's not enough, to put this in perspective, let's talk about how fast Samus' gunship is. 2 times in the series, Samus is able to fly out of the Milky Way galaxy to other galaxies, notably the Tetra Galaxy and the Extreme Galaxy respectively. People generally calc the journey to the Tetra Galaxy as taking a year, and I've seen calcs of about 60 billion seeds, or 60 billion times the speed of light. And that's for the people who even bother to scale Samus to her gunship, which I'll explain how she scales later. But no, her gunship scaled that trip even faster. Traveled it way faster than people even think. Samus in the Samus Enjoying manga travels to the Extreme Galaxy in the time span of a conversation, so a few minutes, not even close to a year. Now, Somebody Data from vsbattle wiki provided a calc for this feat. And the mid-ball feat he provided was 131 billion Cs, aka 131 billion times the speed of light. Now you don't gotta like vsbattle wiki, but you gotta appreciate that math is math. And the highest end feat that he provided was 1.59 quadrillion times the speed of light. Now you can decide for yourself if you prefer the mid-ball feat or the high-end feat, but the point is that we've established that Ridley can race with these ships that make light speed look like complete fodder. But does Samus herself scale? Why yes. You see, in the Samus Enjoying manga, Samus gets her power stolen from her, including her speed booster. To cut to the chase, Samus tracks down her speed booster to an underground villain race of sorts, and the pilot that has it uses the speed booster to literally make his ship even faster. And this is significant to the buff of his ship, given how quickly it outstrips Samus' own ludicrously fast gunship, so it means it's basically doubling its already massively faster than light ship, which is very much impressive. So 1, we established that with the speed booster, Samus is able to move at these speeds, in terms of running speed. But there is more. In the manga, we see Samus stand atop her ship and shoot at the other ship with the speed booster on it, destroying it and the pilot. This is significant because it means her attack speed and the travel speed of her projectiles is also billions to quintillions of times the speed of light, and relative to her own movement speed. And before someone says, "But Lore Raider, is that canon?" Yes, it is. I'll post the interview in the pinned comment below. I've already discussed how it's canon in previous videos, but again, I'll put in the pinned comment down below so you can check out for yourself. So we just absolutely destroyed ProjectZ and the wannabe death battle community with ease on speed, using in-game and in-manga sources. With speed alone, if you assume Samus' building level, then she just kinda insta-kills other building level fodder like Master Chief or the Astartes. But we aren't done yet. It's time to talk about Samus' attack potency and durability. I include them in the same section since they scale directly to each other, which I'll explain for each point. Let's work our way up the list by working with the weakest feats to the most high-end feats. Firstly, Samus is stated to be able to withstand the 960 times gravity of planet Zebes in her Zero Suit form or her base form. Some might contend this is a misprint of some sort, but Nintendo and Sakamoto, who is the lead director of the Metroid franchise for Nintendo, has never ever retconned or decanonized this event from canon, so it's fair game, and anyone saying otherwise is just using headcanon. In Metroid Zero Mission, she also survived a crash from outer space back to Zebes in her base form, which has been counted to a town-level durability feat. The space pirates can harm her in her base form, and that kind of suggests that all fodder-level enemies in Metroid are at that level, because we know that the space pirates, the Kraken Empire, and the Galactic Federation are all roughly in a stalemate at this point or in war, so that must mean, narratively speaking, they all scale to each other. Moving up to her inner suit, she can casually tank the force of her own power bombs, which have been stated to be able to destroy planets. She can also casually freeze the surface of an entire star with her ice beam in one shot. So all that's really impressive, right? We got town level base, planet level, even maybe star level, if you want to include that. But let's talk about the big domino, Samus' universe level feats. At the end of Metroid Prime 2, Dark Samus tanks the collapse of Dark Aether, which is a separate and alternate dimension to the regular Aether universe, the mainline universe, and survives it with little damage, and then goes on to be dealt with Samus pretty easily. She deals damage to Samus and then is defeated by Samus. So this proves that Prime Trilogy Samus can damage universe level opponents and take damage from them in return. So the logic is, if Dark Samus has universe level durability and Samus is able to kill her and harm her, that must mean that Samus has universe level attack potency, and vice versa, right? The one universe level feat is a little weak, you might say. It could be even construed as an outlier. Luckily, I have one more feat that you want to hear. The Samus Enjoy EX manga, yes, I love the manga. Greed, who is a fellow space dragon like Ridley, is granted the ability to create supermassive black holes all over the universe that is going to eradicate the world with them, or rather the universe with them. But the power of that ability consumes him, keep that in mind. Then comes Samus, who is granted powers that, by the way, don't kill her, and requires only a single white hole that stretches across the entire universe to destroy all those black holes. This alone confirms that she's a higher durability than Greed, but again, another universe level feat in her pocket, because to state it again, the white hole stretches across the entire universe and destroys all the black holes in one fell swoop, yada yada yada. This alone confirms that Samus is far stronger than people give her credit for, far stronger than Master Chief, far stronger than Doom Guy, and it also gives interesting perspective about some other characters. For example, Samus scales to SAX in this form because the SAX that impersonates Samus is the same Samus that just did the white hole feat we just talked about. And then Metroid Fusion Samus defeats that Samus. So we know the universe level, the shtick is a very consistent thing with all versions of Samus, at least past the Prime games. So it's almost like Samus Aran isn't a building level fodder like Master Chief, Astartes, or Doom. Okay, well, Doom Guy isn't building level. In fact, he's pretty strong. But all the same, Samus kind of shits on all of them with one power bomb, let alone she cut loose. And ProjectZ called her continent level. What an absolute joke. I suppose we should cover hacks now. Here we cover all the abilities that Samus Aran is capable of and go from there. Firstly, she has ice manipulation with the ice beam. She has pseudo flight with the space jump, and durability negation with the screw attack and shine spark. She can shoot through solid objects with the wave beam and has resistance to, or rather intangibility negation for ghosts, as she can shoot ghosts in 2 of the games. She has limited energy manipulation, as the purple orbs and missiles and bombs that you get from killing enemies is her absorbing their life energy, as confirmed in the original Metroid. She has, of course, the famous white hole creation. She has limited matter manipulation, as just with concentrating, she can restore her munitions as seen in Other M. She can climb up walls, the spider ball and spider magnet, and as of Metroid Dread, she has invisibility. She also has resistance to temperature manipulation with her Varia suit, and resistance to gravity manipulation with her gravity suit. And finally, she can even sacrifice her own munitions to restore her health as a sort of last-ditch effort to stay alive. So there we are, my thoughts on power scaling Samus Aran. She's honestly one of those characters that gets brought up a lot in versus battles, but is constantly underrated by those who use her. And hopefully, my video allows for such things to slowly go away over time. I noticed when editing this video that I made a couple of errors, small errors, such as stating that Dark Samus fought Samus after taking the collapse of Dark Ada, when that's the other way around. And I'm sure there's a few more in there, but ultimately, it doesn't change any of my points. However, if you think I missed something or you disagree, feel free to leave a comment down below in the comment section. I always read my comment section. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe for next week's video, which will be a video on Tomb Raider again. Who knows? Maybe I'll power scale Lara Croft one of these days. Anyway, take care.